Lake Ellesmere, Te Waihora, is located in the Canterbury region of the South Island of New Zealand. It is actually a broad, shallow lagoon located directly to the west of Banks Peninsula, separated from the Pacific Ocean by a long, narrow, sandy spit called Kaiteriti Spit. The lake covers an area of 198 square kilometres and is New Zealand's fifth largest lake, and one that is most polluted. Nearly all the water entering Lake Ellesmere is derived from the groundwater system. However, with high water falls in the winter, there is a discharge into Lake Ellesmere, and this flows from the Selwyn River and small catchment creeks. This seems to be where our problem starts. The problem is, Lake Ellesmere is one of the most polluted lakes in New Zealand. This is caused from the runoff and seepage through into catchment areas such as the Selwyn River, Harts Creek and surrounding creeks that flow into the lake. Historically, the water was good. People were able to swim and have recreational activities within the water. Not so much today. In a 2010 report on lake water quality, Lake Ellesmere was deemed the second most polluted lake in New Zealand in terms of nutrient content and algae growth. Algae blooms are a regular summer occurrence, and toxic algae bloom was detected in the lake in 2009. Furthermore, most tributaries leading into the lake exceed the content recreational guidelines for fecal matter. Furthermore, results from E. coli levels are also poor, with 42% of sites associated with the lake failing National Recreation Guide standards for water quality. No sites achieved the shellfish food gathering standard or were fit for drinking. Historically, many fishermen fished from Lake Ellesmere. However, not quite so many anymore. Because of the vast square meterage of Lake Ellesmere, water builds up from the catchment streams and rivers, and also from rainwater in the winter. This becomes a controversy with farmers. As the water levels increase, so does the water on their land, and so a lot of their land, which is fenced and has farm animals on it, suddenly becomes underwater. Environment Canterbury need to open the lake at Kaiteriti Spit and let the water drain into the Pacific Ocean. However, when the water levels become too high and the water is submerged over the farmland, this causes all the pollution and the effluent from the paddocks to flow into the lake. So the main problem between the farmers and ECAN. The farmers believe that they are doing all they can. Some are, some aren't. Some realise that when the water level becomes too high and it floods their properties, the water needs to be drained away, and in doing so it takes away nutrients, fertiliser, effluent off the paddocks and straight into the lake. But then they also realise that some farmers aren't doing anything. They are just letting it happen. They have no boundary fences along their creek beds, and so animals walk through creeks and they graze and they drink from the sides of the creeks and the rivers. ECAN want to put a stop to it. They want to have boundary fences put up so that farmers and animals can't graze the land. Although it's their land, they can't use that land for their own use. So this may seem like an easy problem to fix. Fence the land. Fence the land along the rivers and the creeks so that this doesn't happen, so that animals can't graze and in the waterways. However, when this happens, it's not quite so easy to fence those areas. Individual farmers can actually help. This is a photo of a creek bed running into Lake Ellesmere. There's no boundary fences. Cows graze in the creek That's their water supply. There's no water supply in the paddock. Hence, when this creek runs into the lake, the surrounding area and the build-up looks like this. Clogged waterways allow algae to grow. Poor fencing means that cattle can roam into creek areas. February and September's earthquakes and subsequent aftershocks have also created issues along the boundaries of creeks. ECAN and several other agencies and groups are trying to make people aware of what's going on in the area and how to stop pollution. During the height of the summer, these sort of warnings have been placed to warn people that the lake is polluted and contains toxic algae from runoff. How was this caused? Let's take a look. Now let's look at what can be done to help the situation. Environment Canterbury believe that with good farming skills and management skills, farming and lowering the pollution in the lake can occur. Educating farmers and the local community about placement of boundary fences and restoration programs along lake, creeks and riverbeds is how we begin to do this. So let's start educating our children so that they know that planting trees will help the environment and that will help them for the future. Restoration programs are already in place and are benefiting the area. Ellesmere College's Eco Warriors and the Waihora Ellesmere Trust have been funded by the Zone Implement Program, which is dedicating $20 million to the project. Around Lake Ellesmere, restoration and rejuvenation programs are already in place. Planting of new seedlings has begun. And only 2 years later, this is what the results are. Five years later, this is only the beginning of a long process which will take millions of dollars, but with ECAN, farmers and the New Zealand Government providing assistance, a truer, more pure lake can exist for everyone.